rest of your day, guys.
We're doing the multiplication and division of 6s though, right?
Nope, to the board. Guys, come on in. Good to see you. Okay, there are 3 sheets there. Please grab one of each. And a piece of blank paper, okay? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? There you go. Oh. There you go. Grab one of each, please. Oh. How you doing? Okay. What's up?
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. What are you, 18, 19? What?
14.
Oh, okay.
That's
Right.
why she has a crown.
Look where you're logging into.
Get all 3.
I should see orange sheets out.
Can we get this?
Yep, one of each.
Happy birthday, Payal.
We are looking at 150 seconds before we start. Be logged in with everything out.
Going back to the multiplication of 10.
Here it is. Check your top score, take out your stuff, set your goal.
Huh?
If you go here, got it from the high school and you get
Go higher.
why am I in algebra?
Make sure your neighbor is logged in.
I'll take it like a third one. 6 sharp.
See, please grab one of each, Joel. I see 2 orange sheets out in the back. Looks like we have about 90 seconds remaining. I see 3 orange sheets out. Good to see you. Okay, grab one of each. Hello, good to see you. One of each. Hi, good to see you. Grab one of each, please. And one of these. It's just turning on now. Okay, why don't you slide over and let's use that so you won't be behind. I'm looking at 75 seconds before we start our multiplication of 10. Jenna is logging in and has her orange sheet out. Seuss is logging in, has his orange sheet out. I'm looking to see which row is going to be done first. It could be this row. No, these guys are part of your row. Have you set up your goals? Did you get one of each of these, Jenna? Yeah. Did you get this paper too? Okay, set up your goals. We have 45 seconds to be at multiplication of 10. I'm seeing people check their top scores, setting their goal for the number they're about to beat. Still waiting on a few more orange sheets to be out. 30 seconds remaining. Krishneel has set his goal. This entire row has their sheets out. We have 15 seconds before multiplication of 10. I'm excited here. It's been a long weekend. Well, not long, but felt long. I want to see what you guys can do. On your marks. Get set. Go. Bless you. This side of the room is silent and on point. Sure to get some wrong. You're not learning unless you get some wrong. I said work hard. strong now. Right, I see people checking their top score, seeing if they beat their goal. How many people did better than the top score? Who improved? There we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Outstanding. 8. More than half. I love that. Brilliant. Okay. You have 28.5 seconds to be at division of 10. If you have not set your goal for division of 10, do so now. If you need a new signature, throw your hand up. Who needs me to sign off their orange chart again for going up another level? Okay, I got a couple people. All right, good. I'll make sure I do that today. Don't forget to update your unit assignment sheet I just handed back. If I owe Vienna another point, I want to make sure she tells me. She needs to circle that, so when she turns it back in, I'll change that. You have 12 seconds to be at division of 10. Kiana's set her goal. She knows what number she's trying to beat. On your marks. Get set. Go. Excellent focus. Keep it up. Pretty strong. Hey. Go ahead and check that top score. Give you a few seconds. And raise your hand if you improved. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people this time. 7. Excellent. Today was not your day to improve. Tomorrow will be. Keep working hard. Outstanding. Okay. Time to transition here. Okay. So, I'm going to lock you up for a moment. And I want to hear from Vienna. What is our objective for today with your college level voice?
I can calculate the area and perimeter of rectangular shapes.
Okay, area and perimeter. My guess is you have a rough idea of what these are, but you might be a little confused. Because sometimes I confuse them. So your goal by the end of class today is that you'll be able to calculate, you'll be able to figure out, okay, with your math, area and perimeter of shapes, but not just any shapes, rectangle type shapes, rectangular. All right? I've got kind of like a level 1, and then I've got a crazy level 2, which I'll introduce with something that's quite embarrassing to me, but I'm going to get there in a moment. All right? So, you're going to be able to do those calculations by the end of class, but because we have some new words, I need you guys to take out this sheet, our content vocabulary organizer. Okay, this is the 4th time we've used this, so you guys should feel pretty comfortable. I'm going to give you 90 seconds. When I say go, I want you to take these 3 words, and I want you to rank your before rankings. How do you feel about them? From 1 to 4, 4 being you could teach someone, 1 being, huh? Okay, take 90 silent seconds. Go ahead, read the word to yourself, and rank your understanding. Go. Coming around with highlighters, do not use them. You guys are a little rusty. Okay. I have eyes up here, I see pencils down. Okay. So let's get through these words, make sure you feel comfortable with them, because I want to remind you, okay, and I'm actually going to use this opportunity instead of at the end of class. I'd like everyone to pull their planner out. I'm going to remind you about something that's really important coming up. Okay, you have 31 seconds to have your planner out, ready to be held up. If you want to cheat, you can open up to today's date. You want to get ahead. $18 seconds. Oh, you guys got there too soon. All right, go ahead. Hold them up. I want to see them. Everyone hold them up. If you don't have one, you need to make sure you have a piece of paper. You need to be ready to write it down on something. Okay? Thank you very much for holding it up. This is really important to me. You have this every day. This is what you're going to do. First, you're going to write down tonight's homework, so no one is confused what it is. I'm going to explain what it is later. Just get it down for now. Okay, got the front row silently copying that down. Javier is taking care of that in the back. And as you finish that, look over a couple columns to Wednesday. I would like you, under academic numeracy, to put the word test. And put a circle around it, maybe some smiley faces, however you want to do it. This Wednesday is your test. Okay, today's the 12th, so that would be the 14th. Got Jesus already putting test, he's putting a big box around it. And some people might ask me, what's on the test, Mr. Fauteux? I'm going to steal Vienna's sheet. If you take a look at your Unit 1 assignment sheet, this is a numeracy test. It's not the algebra you've already done. Remember, we took that last week to be ready for the real algebra test. Okay? So, we took our diagnostic algebra last week. We study off of the data. Good job on that. I'm proud of you finishing up your first unit so strong. I heard good things from the algebra teachers. This week, we're going to switch to the numeracy test. So when I say you need to study your numeracy, I mean not the algebra missions. I mean everything else. If you know the numeracy missions right here, you'll be fine. Okay? This is where you want to study. Okay, any questions on that? And here's the last reason I made you do this. Right when we started our vocab, I wanted to talk to you about this because I told you way back at the beginning of school, not only will you have a test, but you're also going to have a little small vocab quiz. A little tiny one. every unit. Okay? So what you're filling out right now, and the other 3 organizers that you have in your binder for notes, you're going to want to study. So I'm going to understand if Romeo takes his vocabulary sheets home tonight or tomorrow, as long as he brings them and puts them back the next day. Because he's going to want to study off of them for his test on Wednesday. Are there any questions about what I'm expecting on Wednesday? Okay. Very, very good. So, that's what's going to happen. Bless you. So now we're going to shift back to this vocabulary organizer that you have in front of you right now. All right? So you can put your planner away. You're good to go. Okay. So I'm going to say the word, you're going to say the word. Here we go. Area.
Area.
Perimeter.
Perimeter.
This is the one that always gets people. Okay, this one down here. Composite.
Composite.
One more time. Composite.
Composite.
I'm going to start with composite. Art class is fun here. And a student I taught 3 years ago, she's a senior now, we did a little project. I'll walk around with it. You take a look. Okay? This is not me doing ballet. Okay? Get a good look. Alright? They did not tell me they were doing this. It's a good thing she and I are cool, otherwise I would have been like, hey. Alright? So if you take a look at this, here's my question to you. I'm talking about the word composite. Is this a real photograph of me?
No.
No. In fact, how would you describe how this person made this right here? Just describe it to me. How do you think they did it? Make a guess. Be wrong, that's cool. Be right. Whatever, right? Make a guess. Frankie, what do you think?
They took an image of her and slapped your photo of the picture of the ballerina.
Okay, they took an image of a ballerina and they slapped my photo, my head specifically, right? On top of it? Okay. Antonio, how would you have described it?
The same thing, but they printed it.
And they printed it. So what I'm hearing you guys say is they took 2 different photos and put them together to make one new picture. So when we're dealing with shapes today, I'm going to say first off, this is a composite photo. So according to what you 2 gentlemen said is, a composite photo means taking 2 or maybe more things and putting them together, right? So this is a composite photo. When you think composite, think of Mr. F as a ballerina. Okay? Alright? However, when I say composite shapes, instead of taking 2 photos and putting together, we're taking 2 shapes, in this case rectangles today, and putting them together. Next year in geometry, I'm going to get crazy with you, and it's not just going to be rectangles, it'll be all sorts of different shapes stuck together. So composite is 2 or more, in our case today, shapes put together. Alright? So let's head down to that row to start. Alright? And so let's go ahead and write our definition. 2 or more of something put together. Okay, you can have a composite shape, a composite photo. You can have things that are made of multiple materials, and that's often called composite, putting different materials together to build them. Okay, 2 or more things put together. Now an example would be, for an example, how about this? How about a rectangle like this? And then I'm going to stick another rectangle on the top. I'll erase this border. And you can see how I put 2 different rectangles together to make that shape. That's all. We could come up with any number of shapes. And there's also my beautiful picture. That's an example too. Okay, composite. Say it one last time for me. Composite.
Composite.
Got it. So now let's go up to these other 2. Oh, I almost forgot because I don't have the sheet right in front of me. I need my Spanish support in here. Who's going to help me out with that pronunciation? Javier, nice and loud.
Compuesto.
Compuesto. All right, I'm going to say it. You're going to say it. Compuesto.
Compuesto.
Ah, not as easy, right? Come on, I'm learning with you here. I'm going to say it. You're going to say it. No, Javier's going to say it. We're going to say it.
Compuesto.
Compuesto. One last time.
Compuesto.
Compuesto. Okay? Did I get it right? Because sometimes when I do my research for my Spanish, I don't get the right words. Is it right this time? Good. Okay. So there we go. That's our adjective. So now we're going to bounce up to perimeter. Perimeter, I love. Would you guys do me a favor? This is when your highlighter is going to come into play, but be cool. Don't use it yet. Okay? Pass them down if you have it. Would you guys make a rectangle for me? I see people silently sketching their rectangles. And now what I'd like to do is have you take your highlighter after you sketch the rectangle, and I want you to highlight inside the word perimeter, just highlight the word rim. How many of you play basketball? How many of you have seen basketball ever? Most people. Okay. Now, when I play basketball and I shoot, it's kind of ugly. I'm that guy throwing the ball straight at the rim. It looks really ugly when it clangs off of it. You know what I'm talking about? But that rim is a circle, isn't it? And the rim is the metal piece, right? It goes around. So when I say, how far is it around the perimeter? Perimeter is how far around the edge of something. So think of a basketball rim for perimeter. How far around the edge? Okay? So, to give you a slightly better definition, all right, it's the total length. Hook me up with this definition. The total length around a closed figure. That figure could be anything, but it's got to be closed. So Romeo could go and measure all the way around this rectangle, and that's its perimeter. All right? If I were to measure the perimeter of this room, what units would I use? What would make sense to measure the perimeter of this room? Someone throw your hand up. Make a guess. It's cool. Perim, what do you think?
Yard or feet.
Yards or feet? That's cool. Let's go with feet. Most people seem comfortable with feet. I like yards too. So I might measure it and say, it's 100 feet is my perimeter, right? Would I say 100 feet squared? No, because it's not like square feet. It's just how long, right? It's like if I said, how tall are you? I wouldn't say you're 5 feet squared. That'd be a little weird, right? So if I'm asking how long something is, like the perimeter, it's just feet or centimeters or just units. Stop. Right? Okay, make sure we remember that because that's the #1 mistake I see with people. They forget what's going on with the units. Would you guys do me a favor and annotate that? I need to squeeze that in. We just go ahead and put just units like this. Okay, it's really important. Joelle's getting that down. Putting units there in parentheses. And now take your highlighter and let's do a quick example. Would you guys go ahead and mark this up? Let's put like a 2 and a 4 and a 2 and a 4. And that's the cool thing about a rectangle. The opposite sides in a rectangle are the same length, aren't they? Alright? So now if I said do the perimeter, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to take your highlighter and you're going to start highlighting like this. Okay? Start in a corner. You got to draw yourself into the story. Okay? You can put up with your pencil if you want. That's me. Apparently I don't have a neck. Okay? And now I'm going to decide which way I want to walk. Think of it like you're walking around the basketball court. I want the perimeter of the basketball court. Here I go. I'm going to highlight as I go. I'm going to highlight the top. That's 4, right? Then I'm going to highlight this. 2, 4, 2. You see how I've come back to where I've started?
Yeah.
So now I'm done. But I have to figure out that sum. So for me, that's going to be 2 plus 4. I should have started with 4 since that's where I started. 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2, in this case, is equal to 12 units. That's my perimeter. You guys squeeze it on in there for me. I love the highlighter. That way I never forget one of the pieces. If I forget one of the sides, one of the pieces, I always get frustrated with myself. That's why I like to use the highlighter. That's the perimeter. Oh yeah, it's 12 units around, Mr. Fauteux, or feet, or yards, whatever. All right, we're going to tackle the last word now, and then I'm going to get some gorgeous complete sentences from you. I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. Area.
Area.
All right. But first, Anthony, help me out with perimeter in Spanish. Perímetro?
Yeah.
Perímetro. All right, he's going to say it. We're going to say it. Say it slowly for us because we're not awesome. Okay. Perímetro. How come I'm the only one saying it?
Perímetro.
One more time.
Perímetro.
Perímetro. Okay, thank you. And would you do area for us too?
Área.
Area.
Área.
Why am I? No, don't wait for me. He's the teacher right now. You say it, we say it.
Área.
Area. I like that one. That's way easier. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and let's sort that out. Would you guys sketch me that same rectangle, please? Yes, sir.
This is an area, and like you gotta multiply all the sides.
Close. I love it that you're thinking that way. Stay with me. I'm going to come back to you at the end, okay? Here's the thing. I want everyone to look down at the floor. What shape do we see down there?
Squares.
Brilliant. I see squares. Would you guys do me a favor? Would you cut this up? Cut that up for me, please. I want to see how many squares fit in there. That's my game when I'm playing area. How many squares are going to fit in there? The amount of two-dimensional, 2D, you know, 3D with the movies, it comes crazy right out at you, okay? Flat, 2D is flat. I like to annotate, okay? So two-dimensional, you could think of it as flat. Another way to think of it is, it has length and width, okay? We like to annotate all the time. The amount of 2D space measured in square units. So when Jesus looks at the floor, he goes, wow, there's a lot of squares. If each of these was 1 foot by 1 foot on each side of the square, what I'm asking is, how many square feet fit on the floor? You can start counting them, couldn't you? That's how many square feet make up the area of the floor. Now, we can look here. We have 4 units and 2 units. And you can just count them up. Right? I meant, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. That's my area. 8 units. However, if you just say units, I'm going to go, I'm going to say wrong. How come? If I say the area right here is equal to 8 units, why am I going to buzz you and say you're wrong? Romeo.
Square.
Ah, square. Square units. I can't forget that. And the way we write that, we put a little exponent up there, 2. It's units squared, please. You read that as units squared. Because I need to know how many little squares fit inside that space. That's area. Who right now can give me a quicker way than adding 1, 2, 3, 4? It's got to be a quicker way for me to figure out area. That's just killing me, right? I don't want to add them all up. Joel, make a guess.
4 times 2.
4 times 2. Because you have 4 little groups of 2, don't you? That's way easier. I like that. You mean I shouldn't do like 4 times 2 times 4 times 2?
Oh.
Antonio, you see I'm coming back to you now? Do not do 4 times 2 times 4 times 2. That's going to give us something much bigger, right? I just want 4 groups of 2. That gives me all the little square units that fit inside. We good? Okay. So now, Antonio, I want to push you one last step. Can you help out the rest of the class and tell me the difference between area and perimeter in your own words?
Area you gotta multiply on the 2 sides, and then perimeter you gotta add on.
I like that. You told me the way to calculate them. I like that. John, can you help me? Can you give me some more? He told me how to calculate them differently. What else is different between the two? Between area and perimeter. Voice? Okay, so multiply instead of add. That's also similar on how to calculate them. What else about them? Like, what's the difference between them? Like, what they are? Am I confusing you? Question's not that clear? That's fine. Call any one of these guys. Anywhere else in the room. They don't have to have their hand up. You can call anyone.
I think, but pyramid is like outside and then area is inside.
Can you please be more specific? What is it about the inside for area?
The space inside, the squares inside.
Space, the square units, the squares that fit inside. I like that. Whereas outside, the perimeter, it's just the outside. How long, right? All right, you guys got that? All right, I'm going to quiz you in a second on this. We're going to go jump on the computer. We're going to test your knowledge. Okay, but before that, it's back to English class. How many of you have ever written this much in math class before? A couple of you guys wrote all that like this last year? A few classes, but not very many of you. How many of you were like, I thought this was math class, why am I writing so much? Oh, not too many of you. Okay, you like writing. That's excellent. Good. Here we go now. You guys, for the next, I'm going to say 180 seconds. 3 minutes. You're going to give me 3 complete sentences. You're going to use this word in it in any way you like. Don't just give me the definition again. Be creative, but use the word properly in a complete sentence. You're silent. 3 minutes. Questions? Go. Got 2 minutes left now, silent. Means what? Is what? I don't know what it is on each side, but what are you doing? So that's that. Say it against me one more sentence. What's the word that means adding up? 1 more minute. Like that right now. No, come on. Think of something that could be composite. We've talked about photos, we've talked about shapes. Right. Just talk to me about the word. Tell me what the perimeter means related to soccer. Talk to me. What does the perimeter mean in soccer? So, say it in a 50 sentence. Okay, so I need a little bit more. Perimeter is not quite just the outside of the field. What is it about the outside of the field? What are you doing with the perimeter? So length, give me more. So it's just the length of the sideline, one sideline? Oh, so put that in one sentence. The perimeter of a soccer field is, what are you doing to them? Combining them, adding them. Write that. Write that. Kind of curious what people are going to come up with for composite. You take 20 more silent seconds. All right, so let me see here. Area. I'm going to go ahead and grab. Oh, not there. Romeo, what'd you have for area?
Area is not the same as perimeter. Perimeter is area is not the same as perimeter. Area is defined the square, like the square inside the object.
So area is finding, you mean the number of squares?
Yeah, number of squares.
It's finding
The number of squares. The object.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go with Javier. Perimeter.
Perimeter of
Voice.
the perimeter of a hexagon is the sum of all the sides.
Hexagon. How many sides does that have here?
6.
Ooh, 6. I'm going to annotate that. You're ahead of the game. You're ready for next year. The perimeter of a hexagon is the sum of all the sides. I love that too because he used this word. This is one of our vocab words for Unit 2. I'm kind of mad at you for stealing it right now. Sum. That's the answer to an addition problem, right? Okay, you can't forget that because that comes up all the time. Here we go. Composite. Let me see. Someone's going to have to be brave on this one. Who's it going to be? Whoa. Francisco.
Mr. F's composite of the ballerina and him is funny.
Mr. F's composite, and then I'm going to leave a blank, of him and the ballerina is funny. How come I left a blank? I saw about 5 people do this, and I'm really happy you brought this up. First off, I love the sentence. I think it's kind of funny. But secondly, I do want to talk about this blank. If you say, Mr. F's composite of him and the ballerina is funny, there's something slightly wrong about it. Anyone have an idea? You have an idea, Frankie? Go for it.
Composite image.
Ooh, why did you put something else in there? Why did you say image?
Because composite is
Because composite's an
an adjective.
adjective. Wonderful. You guys understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
This is describing something else. It's not a thing, right? It's describing something. So you need composite what? Composite image? Cool. I love that. Nice catch. Okay. Because a lot of time on this, but that's really important. I love it when you guys do this. You're going to need to be capable in your quiz, the vocab part, right, of your test, on Wednesday of writing me a sentence. If I said, Perim, go ahead, explain to me the difference between perimeter and area, you better be able to write it down. He can draw pictures, he can say what he wants, but he needs to be ready. Okay? Good. So now we're going to switch up. This is what I'd like you to do. I'm going to hand out to you. No, I'm not going to hand it out to you. You have it already. Please take this out. I'm going to shift. I want you to take 3 silent minutes, and you are going to calculate for me, bless you, the perimeter and area of each of these 3 rectangles on the top row. Do not go to the bottom row, otherwise your head will end up exploding. I haven't explained it to you yet. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? Top 3 silent minutes, perimeter, area. Questions? Go. Like how Javier is boxing his answer. That makes me happy. Like how Angel was glancing at his notes. That's what they're there for. Vienna is writing down P equals when she says perimeter equals. I like that. That's very clear. Perim is labeling his answers with the proper units. That makes me very happy. Minute and a half silence left. Bless you. See, some people are looking ahead down below. That's cool. If you want to get crazy and you want to push yourself down below, I won't yell at you, but missing something crucial. You are almost there. You did one thing as well that makes me pull my hair out. So I'm going to look around. A lot of people are really excited about those bottom composite shapes. Hold on. Hold on a second. So I'm going to wait until all the pencils are down. All the highlighters are down. Okay, I'll let you go back to those in a second. Okay? So, Chris Neal, can you tell me the answer to the first one? Both pieces.
Wait, the key idea or the shape?
So, the perimeter and area for the first one.
For the area, 60 inches squared.
Caught it.
Yeah.
Why do you think I picked on you?
Because I didn't do it at first.
What did you write?
I showed 60 inches.
Aha. How many of you did that? How many of you put 60 inches? Or you didn't put anything? Just a couple honest people. Yeah. It's so easy to forget. Really brief story, 30 seconds. You guys know what NASA is? It sends up rockets, right? The Europeans, they have their own version. The two groups were working together. They were going to send a satellite to Mars. They were all excited. In Europe, do they use feet? No. In England they do, but that's about it, right? They use meters over there, don't they? Some people over there did a whole bunch of calculations for this satellite in meters. A whole bunch of people here didn't use meters. They use like feet, stuff like that. So they send the satellite up. It's going to Mars. They're all excited. The day comes. It's supposed to arrive, and it's supposed to slow down, right? You know, go into orbit, take the pictures, and it doesn't slow down. It just bam right into the planet. It explodes. It's like a $200 million firework, all because someone used meters in Europe and someone used feet here in the United States. They're not the same, are they? So are inches and inches squared the same? Absolutely not. Your units really, really matter. Think about what that must have felt like, watching $200 million explode on Mars. Oops. Because they didn't check their units? Are you serious? So you have to have your units right. Your science teacher is going to go crazy and run screaming from the room if you don't use proper units. Okay? Right. So, when you're in college, if you don't use proper units, you're going to go, try again. Alright? So, the squares, square inches for area. Good. I like that. Thank you, Krishna. I walked around and I liked what I saw. So, I'm just going to read the answers off to the first couple, and then I'm going to push you into something that's going to catch the rest. So, right now, for the first one, your perimeter should have been 32 inches, and the area should have been 60 inches, what?
Squared.
Squared. For the second one, your perimeter should have been 24 centimeters, and your area should have been 29 centimeters, what?
Squared.
Squared. Okay, let me get a quick check for understanding. I got this. I'm starting to get this. Uh-oh. Go ahead and vote. Yeah, that matches what I saw when I walked around. So I need to stop running my mouth and just have you attack this. I'm going to unlock your computers. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Some of you will not finish. That's okay. Because then at the end I need to bring you back and teach you how to do the last shape. I'm going to send you the computers. I'm going to show you where you're going to go right now. I'm going to give you a demo on your computer screen. Okay, so you guys can follow at home on your computer screen right there. Here comes your full screen demo. And here I am. Do you guys see yourself on Prime right now? Okay? You can log in as a guest. It's not going to matter to me. I got Anthony following along on his computer screen. Some people can follow along up here. So I'm going to come down here to equations and algebra topics, where my mouse is. I'm going to click so Jesus knows where he's going. And then I'm going to come over here to rectangle, area, and perimeter. Everybody see it? You're going to click. You're going to set it for 200 points. You're going to click it. You're going to press enter. Don't worry about the time. This one says area. So I'm going to do what Antonio told me to do, 4 times 4. And I get?
16.
Beautiful. Notice it already says units squared for you, doesn't it? I wish it didn't do that. I wish it made you write it. That'd be better. Now what's my perimeter? This is interesting. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus another 4 is actually, that's kind of cool. It's the same thing. Except it's not units squared, it's just you press enter and you're off and running. And it mixes it up on you. You think you understand it? I want you to take this for 5 silent minutes. The last 5 you can coach each other with whispers. However, you can whisper in the beginning to help your neighbor find the mission. Are there any questions? Run. Oh, of course you have to write your work down. Absolutely. So go ahead, write the word practice on your sheet, draw that line, and show me your work. Thank you for that question. Begin. 5 silent minutes. People helping each other find the mission. I appreciate that. Thank you. Show me those gorgeous calculations. Yes, sir. Did you launch that? If you finish this, I will sign you off. If you don't, that's okay. You'll have another go tomorrow, or you can tackle it tonight. Take your time with this. Show me your thinking. stuff. Give you guys 4 more silent minutes, but you may coach each other if there's a question at this point. 1 second. That's a great question you asked. That's the number 1 thing that people do. Is that right? Good job. Yes. Oops, sorry, a lot of people talking. Okay, let me get you on that. What's your question? Need some support? Okay, so which one are we working on? Area or perimeter? Okay, I'm going to show that to you right now for you. Just draw me a rectangle that has 7 on one side, 8 on the other side. Which squares? Is that okay? So next time you're wondering, you create this and you go, oh, wait a minute, no, it's just this or this. But you're okay how you add up all the sides for the perimeter, right? Keep those. Okay guys, I'm going to stop you in a minute. Be ready, I'm sorry in advance. Oh, good. I didn't put them in yet. So the cleaning was down this morning, so I couldn't do it. I got all of that in, but I didn't update it with everything you sent. So your grades are going to go way up once I do that. Okay? Be right with you, sir. So I'd like to do that again at some point, okay? For sure. Some of you guys are doing such a wonderful job, and I hate to do this, but I have to teach you the last thing. Otherwise, you can't do your homework. So I'm going to pause you. I'm going to freeze you right where you are, because I mean that way. Okay, and then I'm going to show you this. You guys are on this one now. Look at this. You guys are the masters now of this. And I love the questions I heard. I love them. Karina, Payal, Antonio, you guys were asking really, really good questions earlier, and then you guys just asked the same types of questions about why it's this times this, right? I have this many groups of 9. Excellent job. That's how many squares fit inside. All right? The number of people who do 3 times 9 times 3 times 9, a lot of people do that. Okay? 3 groups of 9. Good job. So now I'm going to come down to the bottom row. You guys know the top row. You know how to find the area of a rectangle. So here's the game. Look at this composite shape. And let's turn it into shapes we do know the area of. That right now is not a rectangle. But, can you guys take your pen, imagine it's a scalpel and you're about to do some surgery like a doctor, and I want you to draw a line, a dashed line, like a little dotted line, and I need you guys to cut this up for me into 2 rectangles. Go ahead, make a cut. Anywhere you want, make a cut on this here somewhere to cut it into 2 rectangles. Where would you make your cut?
For all of them?
You can do it for all of them. If you feel ready, go ahead. Okay, Javier, what's up?
Make a square.
You got a square and a rectangle. That's excellent, because we know how to find the area of a square, don't we? It's the same as a rectangle. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it this way, but I'm going to take a quick survey. How many of you took out your scalpel and you made the cut like that? Raise your hand. How many did it the other way? Went like this? Who's right?
Both.
Both. Good job. It doesn't matter which way. And this is my favorite part now. Watch out. When we do area, I want you to redraw them for me. Watch. I want you to take this one, and I want you to draw it down below. And then I want you to take this one, and I want you to draw it off to the side. The way we're going to do composite area is do the area of both pieces, and at the end, put them together. So I'm going to go ahead and annotate again. You guys see how this width is 4, and this width is 10? And I'm going to annotate this one. This width is 5. And this width is, uh-oh. I don't know what that's going to be. And this is the hardest part. You ready for it? Okay, Anthony and Joel, they're dialed in. They're taking a look up here. Watch out for this. This is really tricky. If you look up here, I'm going to grab my red marker. Do you guys remember how the opposite sides of rectangles are equal? All right, so watch this out. This is the secret. I'm going to let you in on it. Do you guys see how this part's 4? Would you guys take your highlighter and highlight that for me? And then, would you guys come across here like this, please? Would you highlight the same piece over here and just put a little 4 inside? All right, now wait a minute. This whole thing is 9, isn't it? But just this little piece is 4? Well then, how long is this little piece up here? Why, Perim? 4 subtracted from 9 is 5. You guys cool how that has to be 5?
Yeah.
But if this is 5, can I come across now and say the other side is 5 too?
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Let me put a 5 right there. That's helpful to me. Isn't that this right down here? So now you can do your area calculations, can't you? 5 times 5 is 25. And 4 times 10 is 40. So what's my composite area? My composite area is going to be 25 plus the 40. You have to put the pieces together once you cut them up. So it's 65 units. Oh, not units. What are my units?
Centimeters.
Thank you, sir. Centimeters squared. But now here comes perimeter, and perimeter causes people's heads to explode. Because if you're going to go for a walk around the whole thing, okay, if I'm Anthony and I start up in this corner right here, and I decide to go for a walk in that direction, here I go. I use my highlighter, right? 5, which I just labeled. It was missing before, wasn't it? 5 plus, oh man, I'm missing it again. You see? I'm going for my walk right here. I'm highlighting as I go. Here's 5 plus, I don't know how long that is. So check this out. If you're confused, you don't know how long that is, you see how this piece here is 5? This piece right here is 5. Well, doesn't that mean if you come down here, isn't this piece right here 5 as well? Because opposite sides are always the same. Well, then how much longer is this piece right there? It's got to be 5, because 5 plus 5 is 10. But if this little piece is 5, how much is my missing piece? 5. And that, guys, is how you fill in the missing pieces. So you need to keep going, oh, what are the opposite sides? And that will help you fill in the missing pieces. So when you go to do perimeter, I don't want you to forget. You need to highlight as you walk. So if I'm highlighting as I walk for my perimeter is going to be, I'm going to start with Anthony, 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus, can I just say 10 down here?
No.
Yeah, 5 and 5 is 10, right?
Oh.
So say plus 10 plus, wow, this is really long, 9 plus 5, and then I'm back home. You need to simplify that to be done. Krishnil.
Can't you just add, like, you already know opposite sides are equal, so 10 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9.
10 plus 9 plus 9. If you can somehow simplify this in your head, like this is 9, so this and that are 9, if you can do that, that's fine, but be careful. Don't leave one out. I'm telling you right now on the test, as the bell's about to ring, people leave one out all the time. You do the highlighter method, you'll be fine. So, do me a favor. I did teach right up to the bell today. I'm going to unlock you. You're going to close your browser. I need you to keep all of these sheets. You need to take home and finish for homework tonight this. Both sides. Okay? And the class sheet. You got a lot of homework tonight. This is your homework, the composite sheet. And this row that we just started. All right. Let me unlock you so you can close your browser. Alright, I saw everybody write it down, so everyone's going to do their homework tonight. I can't wait to see it tomorrow. Get out of here. Good job today. Be brave. Take some risks tonight. Okay, yep, thank you for giving the highlighters back. I appreciate that. Good? Alright. Good? Good? No, we're going to work on this one. Make sense today, Kim? Okay, use your notes. Good luck on the homework. See if you have any questions. Okay, thanks, guys. Javier, how we doing? You all right? Did this make sense? Okay.